I was recently a guest on the RX Muscle podcast with host Dave Palumbo. He asked about advice I would give to a bodybuilder selling a protein cookie to generate income. So in this video, I will walk through the various ways a bodybuilder can have success with a protein cookie business. If you are not a bodybuilder, please stick around because many of the ideas discussed today can be applied to just about any business. So let's get started. Welcome to Leonard Innovation. My name is Justin Leonard. Thank you for tuning in. Before I discuss the various ways a bodybuilder can make money with the protein cookie business, be sure to check out my 90-day online launch guide. It's 100% free, and it's my gift to you. The guide addresses the following question. If I were to start an online business in the next 90 days, what would I do? It's going to cover things like how to determine what to sell, how to market your product, specific software you can use to run your business, and I even included a checklist that keeps you on track. Again, this is absolutely free. Download it today at leonardinnovation.com/launch. First, I would like to salute Dave Palumbo and the RX Muscle family for having me on their platform. I had a great time. All right, so what advice would I give to a bodybuilder who wants to sell protein cookies? Sometimes when you're presented with this type of question in an interview, it can be tricky to answer because there are a lot of unknowns. So I just focused on the basic strategy for selling a product like this. Before giving any advice, I would be realistic about how much money you can make. I would also be realistic about food products in general because in this case, it's a product that needs to be shelf stable. And shelf stable meaning if you make fresh bread at home, it may last a week at room temperature. The only way it lasts longer is to add things to it that might alter the flavor or texture. Bread made at home is formulated with all natural ingredients, but you kind of lose that advantage whenever you prepare something to be shelf stable because you have to add chemicals. This is the only way it can sit on the shelf for months and in some cases years. Also, this is one of the most difficult markets to break into. It's going to be a lot of work, but I'm sure you are up for the task since it sounds like the product is already available for sale. Congrats. Obviously, it is a niche product. We are probably talking about a very specific segment of the fitness community. So be realistic about who this product is intended for and also be realistic about how much money can be made, as I mentioned earlier. Sure, there may even be other markets where a protein cookie can be successfully marketed, but not too many. So we're not talking about $1 million business here, at least initially. It's just a starter business, which is okay. I would have them determine the business model. How big do you want this thing to be? What is the goal? Is this part of a larger product family? Meaning, is this the first product in what will ultimately become an expanded line of products? Do you want to sell online only? Do you want to be in health food stores or maybe a combination of both? The answers to these questions are important to develop a marketing strategy. So I have come up with a list of ideas for marketing and distribution. The first is to sell via major shopping aggregators. It's a good idea to have a presence where the majority of shoppers can be found. And now it's easier than ever to get listed on sites such as Walmart, Amazon, and eBay. Once you are listed on these sites, promote your product as also being available via these other retailers. So on your website, highlight these alternative retailers to let customers know where else they can purchase your product. Also, there are tools that exist which help to facilitate orders originating from multiple channels. If you generate orders from a variety of sources, there is software that makes it easy to manage all those orders from a single admin panel. The ability to view various data points, such as which sales channels are generating the most revenue or what the order volume is standard on any of these services. Next, you want to try to craft a story around your product. From a marketing standpoint, I would evaluate why a protein cookie? What's in it? Why not a protein bar or whatever else is out there? Who are the founders? Why did they choose a protein cookie, versus say something like this? I would guess the product is being promoted as an easy way to get your protein, because being able to blend a protein shake is not always easy when you're on the go. So craft a story around it and be clear about the advantages of a protein cookie. Figure out what makes it unique. Next, we're going to set up distribution. Early on, you will want to establish dealer pricing. You will want to create marketing materials, if possible, explaining the best practices for selling the product. Use both local and online distribution partners, but definitely prioritize larger distributors first, then expand to smaller distributors. Online health food stores, namely supplement retailers, might be your best sales strategies, and it is possible you will generate more revenue here than any other source, including your own website. Product request. Here, we're basically going to tell your existing customer base to ask for the protein cookie by name when they're out shopping. This includes anywhere that might be ideal distribution partners, such as local and online health food stores. If enough people request the product, an establishment might just carry it. Affiliate programs are another potential money-making idea. An affiliate program is where an online distributor or affiliate places a unique link on their website. If a shopper clicks on the unique link, it will route them to your main protein cookie website. If a purchase is made, a commission is then paid out to the affiliate for the referral. And yes, there are companies that you can pay to manage all aspects of your affiliate program. The advantage of the affiliate program is it's autonomous and could be fruitful from a revenue standpoint. The disadvantage is that you will typically have only a small percentage of modestly performing affiliates relative to the total number of registered affiliates. Next, I would suggest consider utilizing reaction videos. If you can get videos of customers trying and or reviewing the product, it might help with sales. This is just how people consume info and become curious about products. Popeyes might have spent maybe $1 million on the chicken sandwich campaign. The rest was largely driven by consumer reactions and comparison videos. You might even be able to incorporate comedy or some other memorable strategy. The goal here is to get videos that are worth sharing. Next, we're going to consider private labeling. Check this out. We already have a protein cookie ready. We already have access to custom packaging, and we have high-profile consumer and personal brands. There may be opportunity within these two groups to generate additional income via private labeling. You would just reach out to strategic targets. Examples are supplement brands, figure competitors, basically anybody with a big following. And you're going to tell them what, you like what they're doing and present the idea of a custom labeled protein cookie. Next, you will want to figure out an MOQ. The MOQ is the minimum order quantity needed to obtain protein cookies that feature their unique brand identity. This is important because you wouldn't want to do private labeling for only, say, 20 protein cookies. Ideally, you want them to commit to a larger order. Next, we're going to figure out how you want to receive payment. For example, do you collect the full amount before the custom order is started? Do you collect half, to get started and then the other half when the order is ready? It might make sense to explore private labeling. Next, we're going to consider using a co-packer. As you begin to gain traction, consider using a co-packer. So what is a co-packer? It's a contracted service that is capable of manufacturing, packaging, and labeling your product. This allows you to essentially go from making these things out of your house or shared kitchen to outsourcing and allowing a trusted partner to do all the heavy lifting. Some will even distribute your product. But in the beginning stages, co-packing services are not recommended due to cost and minimums. This means some have a minimum order quantity of, say, 1,000 units, maybe more, before they'll even work with you. And you may not be ready for that much of a leap yet when you're just starting out. Explore additional utility. How about boosting interest or curiosity through innovation? I really like that one. Does the protein cookie have greater utility that you may not be aware of? For example, can you put it in a blender with, say, 2 cups of milk or water and a few ice cubes and turn it into a protein shake? And maybe that shake is more akin to cake mix. Can that be marketed as an added benefit to your protein cookie? Sometimes just changing or adding another layer to how you market the product makes a difference. Next, we're going to look to incorporate cross-sales and add-ons. As I see it, this product would do well as an add-on item in an online shopping environment. It should probably be paired with related items. Let me explain. If an online shopper is buying a protein powder, you would suggest a protein cookie, sampler pack for an additional fee. Maybe a fee that is a bit lower than the normal cost because the hope is for them to try it and then they buy more in the future. There are a few ways, it could be sold. If selling within a brick and mortar environment, ideally this would be sitting at the checkout counter so that it's an easy cross-sale or impulse sale. Let's look at fitness subscription box marketing. You might consider reaching out to websites offering fitness-related subscription and mystery boxes. The way these work is the buyer signs up for a recurring subscription, and in exchange, they get boxes of fitness goods each month. The contents of a subscription box may be tailored based on a survey or questionnaire, or it might be a complete mystery. But you would just find the ones that accept health foods and try to strike a wholesale deal to get inclusion of your product. Next, we're going to look into establishing a continuity program. This is probably the most important strategy that I discussed today, but admittedly, it might be the most difficult to implement because we are selling something in a competitive market and one that you really don't need. A continuity program allows you to have the financial safety net and benefit of a recurring revenue model. To set it up, simply create a list of tiers where the buyer gets so many protein cookies on a monthly basis for a specific recurring fee. So maybe a box of 12 protein cookies for $39 a month. This is the ideal strategy because it gives you predictable revenue each month. By the way, some of the best performing growth stocks tend to have some type of recurring revenue model. So something to think about. Next, we're going to seek promotion in other markets. We know we can sell to the bodybuilding community, but what are some other ways to market a protein cookie? How about trade shows, expos, and conferences? And this type of product, I wouldn't pay for a booth as they can run between $800 to $4,000. I've even seen it go higher. However, you might partner with a suitable vendor to save money and resources. Regarding trade shows, I'm not just talking about food-related trade shows, but you may not have thought about things like personal training conferences. What about beauty pageants, marathons, gyms? And not just regular gyms, but let's look at things like rock climbing gyms, mixed martial arts facilities, cross training. What about running shoe stores? So you may find some of these alternative markets to be valuable for business growth. Next, we're going to look at meal prep services. This is a growing category of specialized nutrition where meals are prepared as specified and either shipped or delivered. A lot of them tend to operate locally or regionally. You might be able to partner with some of these services and boost revenue. Once again, I'm Justin Leonard. Now let's do a quick summary of everything discussed today. First, you are competing in a tough niche, but there might be plenty of opportunity here if you incorporate the right strategies. You can grow this thing as big as you want. In no particular order, I gave you a number of ideas to help grow the business. It's going to take some work. I would initially focus on positioning the product where you think the most money will come from. I would first target the nutritional supplement sites and then the aggregator sites, so your eBay, Amazon, Walmart. I presented a number of tips on where you might find new customers, but I also want you to zero in on the idea of a continuity program and private labeling. The cost to implement these should be minimal. It may take some time to incorporate, but all you really have to do is add these options to your website. Sometimes it's the simple things like crafting a story around your brand that makes the difference these days. If you can get testimonials or reaction videos, it may help with sales in situations where competition is stiff. You want to appear more popular than other brands. You want to create that edge whenever possible. Lastly, don't forget to check out my 90-day launch guide at leonardinnovation.com/launch. It's free and it's my gift to you. I am confident you will find it beneficial. If you found this information helpful, please share it with a friend. Thanks again for tuning in. Yo, now that I have given you the protein cookie prototype, follow the business model. There's no limit. You can reach the sky. Wisdom that I spoke today is Leonard Innovation, the business school with teachings that can give you motivation. Remember to check continuity and private labeling. Man, if you can pull this off, the cash register will ring. I gave you several ideas to help foster creativity, Craft a story around your brand to boost profitability. I am not a rapper, I'm just dropping knowledge when I can. A veteran business mastermind since 1998, my man. If you benefited from this information, you should follow us. Man, if you can shout us out on social, then that's a plus. Lastly, don't forget about my 90-day launch guide, a downloadable resource that can help you grow your enterprise. LeonardInnovation.com is where it's at. All right, peace.